12 forgotten Windsor's jewels we rarely see. Some Windsor jewels were never meant to disappear, yet they did. Tiara legends dismantled, parures traded, treasures locked away so long an entire generation forgot they existed. But every jewel remembers, every stone carries a secret. And now, we uncover the most elusive of them all, 12 forgotten Windsor jewels we rarely see. Ladies of England Tiara. This forgotten tiara of 650 English ladies now crowns Princess Catherine. The Ladies of England Tiara is a masterclass in versatility and elegance. Crafted by Hunt and Roskell as a wedding gift for Princess Victoria Mary of Teck in 1893, this stunning piece of craftsmanship was designed to dazzle in more ways than one, composed of sparkling brilliance and dramatic pearl drops. The tiara could also transform into a necklace, corsage ornament, or even a brooch with detachable sprays, truly a jewel with endless possibilities. At the time, it was a sensation. 650 women from across England collectively presented the tiara, earning glowing coverage in newspapers that marvelled at its artistry and generosity. Princess Mary, later Queen Mary, frequently wore it as a tiara in portraits alongside her matching Ladies of Devonshire earrings and her 11-row pearl choker, a combination that exuded regal sophistication. Yet despite its brilliance, the tiara gradually faded from public memory. In 1913, Queen Mary dismantled it, repurposing its diamonds into the honeysuckle tiara and the lover's knot tiara today. Its legacy lives on, reborn in jewels now worn by the Duchess of Gloucester and the Princess Catherine of Wales, connecting Princess Mary's forgotten sparkle to the modern Windsor era. Teck Crescent Tiara. The Teck Crescent Tiara is one of those pieces that steals your breath before you even understand why. 3 wild diamond roses blooming between 20 glittering crescents. A design so lyrical it feels almost alive. Princess Mary Adelaide created it from heirloom gems, once owned by Princess Mary, Duchess of Gloucester, weaving family history into a crown of moonlit fire. Yet for all its radiance, this Windsor jewel slowly slipped into the shadows. It was adored by the Duchess of Teck, who wore it for royal weddings across Europe and later passed through the Teck line until Queen Mary quietly acquired it. Strangely, Mary never wore it, gifting it instead to Queen Elizabeth, the future Queen Mother, who brought it back into the spotlight in the 1930s and again in the 1950s. And now, after her death, the Teck Crescent Tiara rests with Queen Camilla, but no one has seen it glitter in decades, and that silence may not be accidental. Surrey Fringe Tiara. It began with a blaze of geometry and fire, rigid diamond spikes rising like frozen lightning, the unmistakable signature of a Victorian fringe. The Surrey Fringe Tiara was crafted in 1893 as a wedding gift to Princess May of Teck, its design almost mirror-twinning Queen Victoria's own diamond fringe necklace, a similarity so striking that even Victoria later mixed them up. But here's the twist. This wasn't just a tiara, it lived a double life. It appeared in Ottawa in 1901, paired boldly with an 11-row pearl choker, then re-emerged in 1905 worn as a necklace, and then vanished. Forgotten not by scandal, but by transformation. After 1910, Queen Mary broke it apart. Its diamonds were reborn inside 2 icons, the Gloucester Honeysuckle Tiara and the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland Tiara. The original Surrey Fringe, gone, yet its sparkle lives on every time Princess Catherine wears those rebuilt royal heirlooms. Sapphire Sunray Bandeau. The tale of the Sapphire Sunray Bandeau begins in near myth, one of those forgotten Windsor jewels whispered about but rarely seen. Its earliest confirmed guardian was Queen Mary, who wore this small Russian-style kokoshnik in the twilight of her husband's reign, a flexible diamond sunburst, crowned with a detachable sapphire cluster. It was a jewel that changed personalities depending on the brooch pinned to its heart. Then comes the twist. Some believe it once belonged to Empress Marie Feodorovna of Russia, a rumour Leslie Field published without proof, making its origins one of the royal family's most tantalising mysteries. Loaned later to Princess Margaret, who dazzled Caribbean nights with it, the bandeau eventually slipped into silence, forgotten by the public. until now, as Princess Catherine quietly brings these lost treasures back into modern royalty. Persian Turquoise Parure. When the young lady Elizabeth Bowes-Lyon married the Duke of York in 1923, she received a wedding gift that whispered both romance and empire, the Persian Turquoise Parure, a breathtaking suite of diamonds and sky-blue stones once displayed proudly at St James's Palace. Crafted by Garrard, its tiara glows with true lovers' knots, triumphal laurels, and tiny lamps of love, symbols so delicately engraved that even the ribbons appear to flutter. For a decade, the Duchess of York dazzled Europe with it. Australia in 1927, Oslo in 1929, London's grand balls in the glittering 1930s. But here's the hook. The world remembers the Poltimore, yet forgets the turquoise that once lit up 3 royal courts. In 1951, she passed this bluefire treasure to Princess Margaret, who wore it at film premieres, state celebrations, and her mother's 91st birthday gala. Then, silence. After her death, most expected the set to reappear on a modern princess. Instead, this once radiant star of the forgotten Windsor jewels quietly slipped from public view, now resting in the private possession of the Earl of Snowdon, waiting perhaps for Princess Catherine to bring its sky-blue glow back into the light. Ruby, Lasque and Pearl Tiara. It begins with a design so breathtaking you almost wonder how the world let it slip from memory. A crown of gold shaped into delicate paisley flames, each one burning with rose-cut rubies, rimmed in shimmering diamond lasques along the inner curve. Tiny enamel portraits, an intimate secret visible only to the wearer. This was Queen Victoria's Indian ruby Lasque and Pearl Tiara, a jewel born from the era when empire, artistry and symbolism intertwined. But here's the twist. After Victoria's death, the tiara vanished from the spotlight, passed quietly to the Duchess of Albany, then reclaimed in 1924 by the royal family, folded into King George V's Grand Indian collection, where it slipped into deep royal silence. A masterpiece, yet almost untouchable. A treasure, yet almost unseen. Today it rests in the vaults, a forgotten Windsor jewel, unlikely to grace a monarch's head again, until Princess Catherine, perhaps, chooses to rewrite its destiny. Amethyst Parure. A masterpiece of deep violet fire. That's the first thing you notice about Queen Mary's Amethyst Parure. The tiara rises like a royal crown of twilight, its oval amethysts framed by electric diamond halos, flowing seamlessly into a grand necklace, earrings, and a 19th century ring. It's breathtaking. And yet, here comes the twist. This dazzling creation is one of the forgotten Windsor jewels. Originally crafted around 1815, the parure once belonged to Queen Charlotte before finding its way to Queen Mary as a bequest in 1898. She wore it boldly in portraits as Duchess of York and Princess of Wales, and again in the late 1930s and 40s, glittering through film premieres and gala nights. And then, it vanished. Quietly sold, whispered about, resurfacing briefly at auctions and even on Anna Wintour in 2007, before melting back into mystery. Which leads to the question no royal watcher dares to ask out loud. What if Princess Catherine is the one who finally brings this lost parure home? And what would it mean for the monarchy if she did? Gloucester Honeysuckle Tiara. The Gloucester Honeysuckle Tiara doesn't simply sparkle, it blooms. Its diamond honeysuckle motifs rise like frost-kissed petals, framing a regal crown of interchangeable gems, once the Cullinan 5 diamond, later a sapphire brooch, and today a mesmerizing rotation of pink topaz and glowing cabochon emerald. But here's the twist. This radiant masterpiece was born from the dismantling of 2 earlier wedding gifts. Why would Queen Mary break apart such treasures? The answer leads us into a forgotten royal tale. Commissioned in 1913-14, the tiara was Queen Mary's experiment in reinvention, though she rarely wore it. Instead, it slipped quietly into obscurity, until 1935, when she gifted it to her new daughter-in-law Lady Alice, Duchess of Gloucester. Alice adored it, wearing it for coronations, state visits, and portraits for over 5 decades, making it her signature diadem. And today, just when everyone assumed it had faded into memory, the tiara has found a new champion. Princess Catherine now brings it back into the spotlight, but not in the way anyone expected. Oriental Circlet Tiara. A coronet of lotus flowers rising through 11 Mughal arches, its frame shimmers with more than 2,600 diamonds, breathing life into Prince Albert's most exotic creation. Once glowing with opals, his favourite and Queen Victoria's too, it was meant to be a love letter in gemstones. But shockingly, this masterpiece nearly vanished from Windsor memory. For decades it slipped out of sight. A Windsor jewel so rarely worn that an entire generation never saw it in public, earning it the nickname the Sleeping Jewel among archivists. Queens found it heavy, unlucky, or simply not their style, and so it retreated deeper into the vault, overshadowed by the famous Lover's Knot and Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. By the late 20th century, it had become one of the least seen royal tiaras in existence, a forgotten treasure known mostly from faded portraits. And who brings it forward today? Not the Queen, not Camilla. It is Princess Catherine who now inspires whispers, this forgotten circlet may rise again. Will she dare wear one of the most dramatic tiaras in Windsor history? Love Trophy Collar? It begins with a shimmer that feels almost unreal. 7 diamond-studded panels, each carved with a tiny love story. Bows, quivers, and flaming torches of passion. All cradled inside delicate laurel wreath ovals, the Love Trophy Collar wasn't just a necklace. It was Queen Mary's declaration of romance forged in diamonds. Crafted in 1901 from heirloom stars and sprays gifted by generations of Cambridge women, it once blazed across her portraits, paired with the Ivar, the Amethyst, the Surrey Fringe, glittering evidence of a princess becoming a queen. And then, fashion shifted. The collar disappeared from public view after World War I, quietly handed from Queen Mary to the Duchess of York, who never wore it. Neither did Queen Elizabeth II. Today, this forgotten Windsor treasure lies in the royal vaults, intact, untouched, almost begging to shine once more. Queen Alexandra's Dagmar Necklace. It was a wedding gift unlike any other. Commissioned in 1863 by King Frederick VII of Denmark, Queen Alexandra's Dagmar Necklace shimmered with devotion and legend. Adorned with pearls, diamonds, and a sacred relic said to be a splinter of the True Cross its centrepiece, a replica of the medieval Dagmar Cross, connected Alexandra not just to royalty, but to faith and Danish heritage itself. Yet, for all its grandeur, this was a jewel that was left as bygone, a jewel few knew existed. After Garrard's subtle alterations in London, its detachable pearls and cross allowed versatility, but also obscurity. Alexandra wore it only twice in public, most notably at the 1902 coronation. By the time Queen Elizabeth II inherited it, she chose to wear only fragments, never the full glory. Perhaps that's why history nearly forgot it, a sacred masterpiece quietly tucked away in royal shadows, waiting to be rediscovered. Lotus Flower Tiara. The lotus flower tiara has always looked like something breathed into life rather than crafted. Its diamond arches rise like moonlit waves, each crowned with a pearl that seems to glow from within. And at its heart, the delicately fanned lotus motifs shimmer with an elegance that once defined the early Windsor era. Yet few remember that this forgotten Windsor jewel began as a wedding gift in 1923, a pearl and diamond necklace transformed by Lady Elizabeth Bowes Lyon into a tiara so airy it felt weightless. She wore it for the iconic portraits that circled the globe after her husband's unexpected ascent to the throne in 1936. Passed to Princess Margaret, loaned for royal weddings, even perched mischievously atop a courtier's head, it lived many lives before quietly returning to the royal vaults. Today, it re-emerges only on Princess Catherine, who revived it at the 2022 diplomatic reception. That's all for tonight. Tell us, which Windsor jewel is your favourite? But before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more fascinating royal jewellery stories.